Hi everyone, welcome to Lectora Live. We are here live actually at the Lectora User Conference 2017. I've got two very nice people with me. I don't know if I'm on camera or not, it doesn't matter, but they're on camera and they're what counts. And they're here to talk about some of their experiences with Lectora and Branch Track and how they like the show. So here we go. So do you want to introduce yourself first?
I'm Andy Lockwood. I'm with Owners Insurance in Lansing, Michigan, and I work in the claims department.
Hi, I'm Zoa Bonofiglio. I am an instructional designer at Auto Owners. I work with Andy, so together we create different training for our claims associates and love the products.
Bonofiglio.
Italiana.
Yeah. I'm Italian too. Part Italian. The other part's German. It keeps beating up the Italian. It's just bad. But anyway, so how are you enjoying the show?
Great.
It's excellent.
Is this your first, or have you been here before?
This is my second.
Me too.
This is my third.
Third? Oh, you're a veteran.
I'm a pro.
Yeah, you know what's going on. So I heard you guys are using, use Lectora as
Yes.
one of your main tools, and you're using Branch Track.
Yes. We actually we started out working with a scenario. We're doing a claims scenario that walks new claim reps through every step of the process. And part of the problem was we were trying to build from a flow chart, and then build that kind of choose your own adventure scenario inside Lectora, or trying to find some other way to do it. And it was going to be a lot of work. It was going to be really difficult. And then Sergey just happened to come along last year at the conference, and Zoa had seen that, and she was like, "This is perfect. This is exactly what we need for it."
When I sat in his session last year, I absolutely knew this was going to change our flow of work, and change how we can think about the end user actually engaging with some kind of authentic scenario without having to crash a car and a deer and having them kind of make it authentic.
And it is a lot of work doing it. We've done it too by hand in the old days, and I mean it's doable, but it's keeping track of where you're going, where you're jumping. And of course, right after you finish, somebody has a change.
Absolutely. That's what we were afraid of.
Yeah, and changes are killers when you're doing that kind of, especially if you've got a deep scenario where you're doing a lot of branching.
The Matrix was going to be phenomenal. I had already started sort of thinking about how the Matrix was going to work, and it was going to be very complex as a designer, then explaining it to Andy, our developer, and then getting the subject matter experts in there, and it was getting very complex.
Yeah, and insurance matrix, is it an insurance matrix like a actuarial type matrices, or?
I was literally just using resources at my own. Word, different, sketching and drawing things out, trying to make connections that way.
Yep.
So, yeah, basic.
So how's it been working for you now? It's been about a year now you've been using it?
Yeah.
Just about. We got in on a trial and wanted to make sure that it was what we could use, and I think we did a 20 different scene example.
So it's a pretty complex.
Show.
Yeah.
Well.
That was a sample.
Yeah, we went and we took our 30 stage flow chart on how to go through a claim process from beginning to end and turned it into 256 scenes in Branch Track.
That's quite a bit, yeah.
It's intense.
You're up there with most of the more advanced users who, I know one who did 400.
That's what they were telling us. That's
Jane,
kind of the goal.
Jane Boykin, or Jane Irwin, I think. And she did it overnight. She goes, I got so excited.
Yes.
And she just went.
And it's so much like you were saying with the changes, like when you're all done, they're so much easier to do. You just go in and you click and you change.
And you can reconnect easily.
Yes.
Yeah, we've used it a bit on some of the projects we have, and it actually worked really well. And we didn't do anything that complex. These were very small scenarios that they wanted to do, and it was very easy to do. Are you folks using VoiceOver too on these, or is it strictly?
We are. Yep.
You are. So.
Yeah, so we have scripts, and we work with a couple subject matter experts that help us with the language and proofing. So the feature where you can actually just look at the text has also been extremely beneficial. So that helps them, without going through the whole matrix, actually just look at the language tell us what needs to change, or work a script and we can actually specify this is going to be a voiceover, this is text.
Okay. And this is going to your adjusters?
This is going to our claim reps. Like
Your claim reps. Okay.
as they're hitting the ground, like first couple of weeks on the job,
Yep.
they're going through this so they can make these decisions for themselves and actually put themselves in the scenario without doing harm to the company's reputation,
That's
to their
great.
own reputation.
That's great. Kind of like being a flight attendant, where they have to literally fake fly for anywhere from 2 to 6 months, and then they
Yep.
get on, and now they know something already.
Right.
And that's really good. And insurance is complex. A lot of people don't think insurance is that complex. It's
yeah.
very. I used to work insurance too. I was in Marshall McLennan for many years, or for not many years, only a couple of years. I've been in banking and insurance most of my career, and it's not that easy. There's a lot of, and we work with actuarial companies, and it's amazing how much work goes into figuring out what a policy costs, and then of course adjusting and claims
really does.
and everything else. Have you noticed in that year that you've been developing this that you've gotten a good return on investment?
Well, we're getting ready to roll it out in the next couple of months.
So it's totally new.
It
Yes.
is brand new.
Okay.
We're going to beta test it here in about a month or so.
Probably go well. Yeah.
Yeah, so we so far the feedback's been really great as far as customer service, helping the new claim reps really think about different choices that they might make. So we do have a path where it's clearly not the right choice, and at the end you're going to have a pretty upset customer.
Okay.
But then we have other paths where you might be able to kind of cruise along this way, but maybe try it again. We have two different characters. We have the actual insured, and then we have a manager that will interact as well. So I think the return on investment is going to be great, because this is something that they can do at their desk versus we now have them fly into home office and we have a face-to-face. So
Is that how they did it before? Get it
Yeah.
on face-to-face training, and they went through all the scenarios.
Yeah.
So it should be really good.
Yes.
It'll reinforce very quickly what they need. How long does it take for them to go through, let's say, beginning to end on is it complex?
If you choose the correct path, it takes a couple of the tests that we put our actual agents through. The people who actually know this stuff, they've gone through it in about 5 minutes.
It's good. That's fast.
Which is, I mean, they're taking no time to get through this. They're getting the feedback, and they have the ability to go right back through and make better decisions if they want to.
That's good. And the feedback from the agents who've seen this, good?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah,
They do.
They're
They do.
really, we've gotten some wows, and wow,
So it
that
brings it to
exceeded
life.
our expectations.
Just brings it to life for them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are these employees or are they outside agents?
These
Independent?
are all employees
They're
that we've been
employees,
testing
okay.
Yeah.
with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we talked to Matt yesterday. I guess he's in more your tech support, and he
Yes.
was telling us he's dealing a lot with the independent
Yep.
agents and
Right.
everything else. So, and you folks are a fairly large company. I think he said you were in 26 states?
Yeah, 26 states.
That's
we
big.
have
Except the
50
West Coast. I don't blame you.
Right.
It's kind of risky
We're in
over there.
California. I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, we
you have to
have.
hire a lawyer for every
Right.
office, yeah, minimum.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
we're
crazy.
actually the claims department is somewhere between 1,100 and 1,500
Oh, that's
people.
great. That's
So we're
really good.
training all of those people.
Yep.
That's really good. That's fun. That's a lot of training.
Yeah.
That's a lot of training. Do you have reps in are they independents in all the 26 states?
Auto Owners works through independent agents, so
Okay.
that's how we are in business. We really like the one-on-one, personable aspect of our customer service.
Yeah. It makes a difference, yeah.
It really does, and it's one of the reasons we are the outstanding company that we are. So from a training perspective, we don't really get to interact with the customers or the
Okay.
branches. We do that through the individuals that we train. So
Okay.
customer service is always one of our number one goals that we're thinking about as we develop and design anything, which was a big part of the branch track scenario, was
Yeah.
to get them, there's a more correct way to actually phrase what you need to phrase when you're talking to somebody. So
It just makes a total difference. And it's amazing how many, especially insurance. Insurance is a hard, having been in it, it's a hard business. You have to not only have the good customer service, understand what the clients need, and then deal with the clients who are miserable because something bad happened.
Yes.
And that's always the hard part. And we've worked with some very good insurance companies in the past, and there's some that aren't that good, that aren't that service oriented. And when you get the service-oriented ones, it makes such a huge difference for the person who had a house problem or car problems or an accident or whatever else.
Right.
And it's good. So, and you guys are in Lansing, Michigan, right?
We're
Yes.
in Lansing, Michigan. Go green. Throw that in there. I think one of the things from a training design perspective is the ability to build scenarios, and so you do get that practice time and having the different tools to be able to do that. It's really great that Branch Track and Lectora work so well together too.
They're really
I know
integrated.
that's helped Andy quite a bit with the
In
development.
fact, some people do it as a hosted solution, then bring stuff back in, but it's actually really good when you can integrate it. That's how we were using it, and it's seamless. It's pretty much seamless. And then you can go in and even modify it more if you want to, or add
Right.
more variables, or take a look at the variables. Are you guys using a lot of variables in what you're doing, or tracking certain things?
We're planning to. Like it's still in development. The branch track piece is done.
Okay.
And now it needs to be housed inside our course.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to wire it all in and basically take the variables that they've created for following the score and send our people off into different directions. Like if you didn't do so well,
Okay.
here's the things you need to know,
Yeah.
and this is what you need to focus on. If you did great, we're not going to make you go through all the stuff that you obviously already know.
You guys are kind too, huh?
Sometimes, not
Sometimes.
always. Not always. Like our, speaker Kelly talked about. There's a lot of learning to happen when you make those mistakes, and using Branch Track allows them to make mistakes there's consequences in that you're going to have to go back and rework something, which then allows you the opportunity to rethink and build different cognitive pathways. But you haven't. It doesn't impact our customer base.
No, and one thing you said that's really important is there are consequences.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people develop scenarios that have no consequences, and therefore people really don't learn much. They think, oh, this is easy. I call it a politically correct scenario. And no, that doesn't work, because in the real world you're going to get all sorts of different things coming at you. And you have to have some of those consequences. So that, like you said, the cognitive part of the learning of, oh wait, if I do that, that's not going to be good. I can do this, or I can change my scenario a bit. And it sounds like from what you're saying, as you're building the scenarios, you're maybe not a good answer, but you can get back to a good answer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's really important too, and that's what makes it more complex. But again, now you're building more value into the whole project versus a lot of people take the easy way out. Just
Right.
Here's a quick scenario call. Okay, here it is. That we're done.
Well, and I think because you're in claims and you're dealing with people directly, you are effectively, like, you can make or break their lives with how you respond to this.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be risk averse. We can't just be like, this is all you need to know, get on with it.
Right.
you
Check
know.
off. Just check off the
You really kind of, and that's our first branch track scenario, deals with just a simple, our customer isn't too upset. It's kind of there's a couple of hiccups in there. And then the next one that we throw at them later in the course is going to be more difficult. And then we will keep throwing new scenarios at them that will help our agents deal with this in better ways.
So they build the skill set. They build the and a lot of these sound like they're new agents or new.
They're brand new.
New
Yep.
employees. Okay.
Yep.
So that's good. In the testing you've done with those employees, do they feel like they've got a much better handle as they're going through the training, or when they start getting into, let's say, on the phones or dealing with people? Have they made comments about that?
With some of our former courses that we've created, they have, and it's the way that Andy and I are developing and designing training is very different, with the ability to use the different authoring tools and Trivantis suites and whatnot. They are very responsive in positive ways. We did an effective business writing, and we had an individual who went through it who was from Sweden?
It's somewhere, it was definitely European.
Yeah.
The country escapes me though.
So, but he went through our effective business writing and said it was one of the most informative trainings that he's gone through that kind of helped him think about grammar, English grammar, and whatnot.
That's good. Interesting. So you teach some of that too, as far as how to talk, how to write.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
isn't it amazing? We're teaching what all the schools aren't teaching anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I know the businesses, we're all doing the same thing, and we're teaching them what they haven't quite learned.
Yeah. Actually, that's a big research piece
Yeah.
that I like to look at. So, yeah.
That's fun. Well, it's not fun having to train everybody from scratch, but it's nowadays we have to do it.
You have to
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it. Are you seeing any trends in learning that you like, or anything that you're looking for the future?
I know one of the things that I really think is important is keeping that learning authentic and relevant. I really like the fact that with how we are able to design and develop and using the different authoring tools and the ability to actually create video and different things like that in a very user-friendly environment helps us as designers and developers create things quicker. With that, though, one of my kind of soapbox stances is we still need to think about the learner, though. So it's real easy to kind of get wrapped up in the development pieces, the flash and the buttons and everything, and wanting to get things out quickly. So we focused on the content and just getting that information across. I think it's still very important to step back and think about who that learner is, what the actual need is, what the gap is, and
It's that whole
planning from
learner-centric
there.
approach.
Exactly.
Do you folks also do instructor-led training?
Yes.
You do.
Well, we personally do not.
You're more doing
but
the
auto
learning
owners-
development and
Right. Auto owners does do instructor-led training.
Yeah.
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 And again, that's the whole flipped classroom idea. And
Right.
a lot of companies are starting to realize if you just sit behind a podium or talk behind a podium the whole time, and today, especially with the younger learners, they're like, is there a game, something I can be doing?
Yeah, no, your users or your learners know that. Like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna just stand there and do nothing, they check
They've
out.
checked right out. It's instant. The phones come out, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of interesting. Well, it sounds like you guys are having fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're having a great
I
time.
love it.
That's good. That's good. It's nothing more fun than developing something that people like and then they actually
Yeah.
benefit from.
And
Absolutely.
learn from it. That's
And learn
exciting.
from it.
Yeah.
This is true. And you've got a lot of people. There's about 1,200 people you're going to be training?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
somewhere around there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you'll get some good metrics by the time you're done with
yeah.
when it rolls. I'd love to talk to you guys again once you roll it out, maybe like 6 months
Absolutely.
after, just to kind of do a little synopsis of how it went, what the good was, what the bad was,
Sure.
how to correct some of the bad, or because they're going to give you tons of feedback, I'm sure,
They
as
are, yeah.
they go. And
Yeah, Review Link is another tool we really like. So we
you
get
know,
a
we're
lot
going to
of
start
stuff
getting
in
into review. We have a lot of customers that just don't want to do that. And we're going,
Oh,
it
really?
makes our life easier and your life.
Oh,
And-
we love
my
it.
gosh,
We
yeah.
absolutely love
because
it.
you're aggregating comments rather than you get a spreadsheet with 42 columns of everybody writing their comments and you just go, oh no.
And especially with the new stuff, we haven't played around with the new advancements that they've made, but being able to draw right on the page and go, this is what I'm talking
That's
about.
actually a real nice feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
It's there, and plus it supports other tools. It does Lectora, it does Storyline, and it does Captivate. So they've got them all. So that's even nice. I thought it was only for Lectora, and I don't know. They've added more. That's pretty good, and it's got a pretty good UI. So
Yes.
it's pretty easy to read. And I've seen some of the other ones; they weren't that good. So I like what they've done with that. And
Yeah.
well, great. Well, I hope you guys have a fun time. A little bit more left to the show. I know we've got
Yeah.
the ending.
We're kind of at the 11th
part of the
hour
show.
now.
We are.
Right.
We are. You guys enjoyed it?
It's been a great week.
Yes.
Great week.
Really
Yep.
has.
We've been here since Tuesday. So it's
Did you
been
do the
wonderful.
pre-conference
We
did.
too?
Yes, we did.
Which one did you do?
I was in the Games Workshop with Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. Yeah, I love Daryl.
And I was in the intermediate with Jennifer.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, sounds like you guys are way past intermediate, though.
Well,
There's always more to learn.
Well, actually, that's true. And half the time, none of us read the manuals anymore. So it's
Right.
like, I know you could do that. Every so often, we just missed the project. We were going to use Lectora on this project, and it was totally our fault. We looked at the wrong object. We needed something, because we do a lot of simulations too, and we needed something that had scrolling, that we could scroll and click on items, and the scroller in Lectora didn't do hotspots, and we're like,
Oh.
darn. We looked at the wrong object. The web
Oh.
object does it all. You could do hotspots, anchors, links, and I went, ugh.
the web is.
So did she. We both decided, oh, we really blew that one. So we did Storyline, which is okay. It does hotspots, but nothing else.
Right.
But we've gone so far into it, it's too hard to go back and redo it all. But Lectora would have been, originally that was our first choice.
Yeah.
And then they threw the scrolling at us, which we didn't expect originally. And but so it really does things. And if you ever have a need for that web object scrolling, it's amazing what it can do.
Nice.
Because now you can embed anything into it. and you can make a simulation look very realistic because you're actually looking at it, especially if it's a web-based application. Like this one was, it looks perfect. So live and learn. That was
Yeah.
one mistake.
That is
Absolutely.
life.
And we know Lectora well, and it's like, why wouldn't we just never use the web object that way?
Yeah.
It's like, so, and we know how that goes. Well, I'm glad you guys came. It was very nice
Thanks for
meeting
having
both of you.
us.
Andy,
Nice meeting you also.
pleasure. Zoa,
to meet you. Thank
pleasure,
you.
fellow Italiana. So, Zoe. And we will be back later on Lectora Live. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye. We're good.
Awesome.
It's
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. That was fun.
Absolutely.